Welcome back to another episode on the MLD Balls page. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about why we don't want Lamar Jackson. All right, so we're going to be revisiting the Lamar Jackson saga from last offseason where there were so many teams just coming out and just confessing their beliefs on, hey, we don't want Lamar Jackson. I don't believe the MVP quarterback at the age of 26 who's in restricted free agency is someone my team should even give an offer, because we have somebody like Anthony Richardson who we love at pick number 4. And I understand liking Anthony Richardson a lot for the Colts. I like Anthony Richardson too, but you have a special player in Lamar Jackson. And the funny thing is, Anthony Richardson, he says that he builds his game around a Lamar Jackson. He wants to be a Lamar Jackson. Like, you got the guy who your player wants to be on the table, and all you have to do is give him an offer. But these teams was just not willing to do it. They had quarterback Gardner Minshew, Nick Foles, and Sam Ehlinger at the time. But like I said, they did go out with that pick number 4 that they have and drafted Anthony Richardson. And it was just funny to me that the biggest reason that they didn't want Lamar is right here. It says they didn't know if he was going to age gracefully. And we're already at the point in Anthony Richardson's career where, dude, it was a couple weeks in and he got hurt. Like, how are you going to say that you don't want Lamar Jackson because he may get hurt? Like, you can't predict injuries, And thing about it is, soon as you got Anthony Richardson, another freak athlete at quarterback, he's hurt automatically. It doesn't make sense how that type of play style, y'all was so worried, can it, age gracefully? And then you got Lamar Jackson, but the worst version, Like, it's funny to me, the Colts, I'm not going to egg on them too hard about it. One thing about it, though, is the fact that if Lamar could age gracefully was their biggest question. And then they got Anthony Richardson and Laiatu Latu. Laiatu Latu has medically retired 2 times already, and he hasn't played a snap in the NFL. He hasn't played a snap in the NFL, and he hasn't medically retired already. That's why he fell to pick 15. Yes, I love Laiatu Latu as a talent. I think he was the best edge rusher in the class, but he has medically retired multiple times, and you're worried about not offering a MVP because can he stay healthy? Come on, man. Come on, man. Look, I don't like that process, but I'm not gonna go on the Colts too hard about it because I do like the picks of Anthony Richardson and Laiatu Latu. I just don't like the reasoning of not getting a MVP quarterback, because I would trade Anthony Richardson and Laiatu Latu for Lamar Jackson right now. I don't think that's a hot take, but I'm going to not egg on them too hard because at least, their reasoning was bad. But Patriots, man, another team that wasn't willing to go for Lamar Jackson. They had Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi. You could have gave up pick 14, which turned into Christian Gonzalez, which another player that I like, but we already see that he's hurt. Like, this is the NFL. Everyone gets hurt. Anthony Richardson missed the season. Laiatu Latu has medically retired multiple times, and Christian Gonzalez missed the season. The first 3 players that we're talking about, I'm not even planning to do this. It's just the first 3 players that we're talking about who would have been traded for Lamar Jackson were hurt the whole season where he won MVP. It's like, you can't predict injuries in the NFL. The NFL, bro, that's the whole game, Every single play, somebody's getting tackled hard. You can't just say, oh, we don't want him because he may get hurt, But yeah, Robert Kraft, he said that he would be interested in Lamar Jackson, but hey, it's up to Bill Belichick. And what happened to Bill Belichick? He's fired. He's fired. You know why? Robert Kraft is tired of that. He's like, whoa, ain't no way we ain't even tried to trade for an MVP while we struggling to find a quarterback, man. Come on, that boy mad. No way you didn't want Lamar Jackson, who every time we play him, he roasts us. And we ain't even offer nothing. And the NFL is super different than the NBA. I see with restricted free agency, or maybe it's just with Lamar Jackson. Because in the NBA, if Luka Doncic won an MVP and was in restricted free agency, you best believe other teams are going to make sure that the Dallas Mavericks have to pay Luka Doncic a max. Like, you're not even going to make sure that the Ravens have to pay Lamar every single cent that they need to, or you're going to take him. A player like that, this is what you do. This is how you get MVP level players at the age of 26. This is how you win Super Bowls. But some teams just don't understand that. I don't get it. Lamar Jackson was interested in going to the Patriots, but it just wasn't going to happen. I don't get why you don't at least offer us. You don't even offer him. That's the thing about this that was throwing me off last year. Teams were not even offering him. I understand they probably felt like, hey, he's not even going to come here. We're wasting our time. But man, and this is the team that. Yeah, they did it the worst. They did it the worst way. I'm gonna stay on the Atlanta Falcons for a couple minutes, man, because they chose Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke over Lamar. This was the team that I thought had the best chance of stealing Lamar Jackson, and they literally said, "Did you watch that playoff game, bro? Bro, did you watch Desmond Ridder, bro? Arthur, you're funny, man." The other Arthur, not Arthur Smith, their owner, whatever. Oh, yeah, Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank literally was just critiquing Lamar the whole time. Like, hey, you saw him in the playoffs. Hey, you see, can he stay on the field? Hey, guess what you did? Guess what you did the year after? You fucking got Kirk Cousins at the age of 37 coming off a torn Achilles, and you paid him max money. And then after that, you overdrafted at pick what? You overdrafted for a quarterback, and then you fucking had a terrible quarterback room this year. Bro, y'all are panicking at quarterback while Lamar Jackson was right in your face. And then you go and pay a fucking nigga off a torn Achilles a max deal? What? You were talking about not wanting to. I don't get that. They literally talked about injuries, health, whoopie-whoop. And look, 6 months ago, he was asked about the Lamar Jackson situation again, and just listen to what this man said.
Was it a mistake not to pursue Lamar Jackson?
Was it a mistake to not pursue him? You're asking me. I'll give him. Yeah. I don't think so. I mean, I think that. I mean, it's easy to say yes. Looking given his year, he's obviously an incredible player. We did not have the cap space. I think the coaching staff felt, coaching personnel, all of us felt collectively, but certainly Coach and Terry, that we felt we had an answer in Ridder, a younger player without that kind of contract that would have kept us from actually building the team we wanted to build. What's happened to us too often in the past, Josh, and you've seen this, and many people in this room can remember players that we've drafted well, brought them along, got to year 4, year 5, we had to let them go because we didn't have the cap space. It's not a question of cash; didn't have the cap space, so we had to let players go. That's not a good formula.
And that's so fucking funny that, I'm sorry for my language, but it's so funny to me that he offered Deshaun Watson, who's a bad person. Can we agree that Deshaun Watson is actually a bad person? You're a bad human being. And he offered Deshaun Watson all of what he just said you can't do for Lamar Jackson. He was willing to trade AJ Terrell. He was willing to trade picks. He was willing to do all of that just for the chance at Deshaun Watson. But he wasn't willing to do that for Lamar. And with Lamar, it was a restricted free agency. It would have not been the same because the Ravens could have, just matched the deal. But guess what? At least your team understands that you're trying to do that for an MVP. But when you do it for Deshaun Watson, you're trying to do it for a pervert. Like there's a difference. There literally is, bro. Like, I don't get it. And the fact that he went on and he said it is very different. Arthur Blank said it's a very different from Deshaun Watson situation. Very different player, very different time. You have a winner and the MVP of the league. There's no question he's one of the top quarterbacks, but you questioned it. Why you're saying there's no question, but at the time there was plenty of questions for you. Looking at it objectively, I'd say there's a concern over how long he could play with his play style. You have Kirk Cousins coming off a torn Achilles on a max. You have that what's the name of their quarterback that they drafted? Because he's an injury-prone quarterback. Like, I don't get what they are talking about. Michael Penix, yes, the reason Michael Penix is a really good quarterback, he's on the older side of the draft. But the reason that he fell in the draft process is because he keeps getting hurt. He literally keeps getting hurt. This is the NFL, and you're talking about we don't want him because he's hurt. Bro, there's nothing you could do about that but hope that your player is healthy. When the Carolina Panthers traded Christian McCaffrey, you remember he couldn't stay healthy for nothing there? But they're just like, we're at the point where we may as well trade him because it ain't like we don't ever trust he's not going to stay healthy, but that we can't contend and he's going to keep being hurt. And then he goes to the 49ers and now he's healthy. You know why? Because it's the NFL. You can't predict injuries. Injuries just happen, man. It's unfortunate, but Lamar just had an MVP season and all you did was critique his play style. You critiqued him in the playoffs and you said you don't want him. And then you go out and pay Kirk Cousins a max a year later. And the year before that, you offered your whole team and draft assets for Deshaun Watson and your whole cap space. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Just say you are wrong. You are wrong. Atlanta Falcons fans, y'all could agree with me. They just didn't want Lamar. And another team that I don't get it, man. Carolina Panthers. You have Andy Dalton, Matt Corral, Jacob Eason. You have either you could go out and get pick number 1 in the draft, or you could try and get Lamar Jackson. Why don't you at least try to get Lamar Jackson? And if the Ravens say no, you just draft your quarterback. Are you being loyal to a quarterback that's never played in the NFL already? Are you trying to show Bryce Young you are so committed to him that you're not even going to go for Lamar Jackson? Because that's stupid. That's stupid, in my opinion. You at least supposed to see what you can do with Lamar Jackson. And if the Ravens are stupid enough to take pick 1 in the draft for Lamar, you go ahead and you have Lamar Jackson now. You wouldn't trade pick 1 for Lamar, but you do it for Bryce Young, somebody who we have no idea what he could be. And look, this is about what a Lamar Jackson trade would have looked like. If anything, this is more. This is literally might be more than a Lamar Jackson trade. DJ Moore, who's a Pro Bowl receiver, pick 9 in the draft, pick 1 in the draft, and 2 second-round picks. That's a lot. Why didn't you just get Lamar Jackson? Like, you went out and got Bryce Young, who never played a snap in the NFL, instead of just getting Lamar Jackson and then figuring out the rest. Instead, you got Bryce Young and want to figure out the rest. That's stupid. That's stupid. And all these teams was just, we don't want Lamar Jackson. You know, Lamar Jackson, I don't know why, but none of us want him. Like, it's not the fact that I'm saying that these teams were going to 100% get him, but you're not even going to offer him a deal. You're not even going to try. You're not even going to force the Ravens to pay him everything that you would. You're not even going to force them to. Detroit Lions, it's like, I guess we could let them slide, I guess. But me personally, I do like Jared Goff. I think he's a top 15 quarterback. But I think that the Lions window would have been open longer with Lamar Jackson, especially with how great that offensive line is, how good they are at drafting late in the draft. I personally would have got Lamar Jackson if I was the Detroit Lions. But I could understand a little bit, so I'll let them slide. But yeah, like he said, Lamar Jackson's a heck of a talent. But yeah, they got a quarterback, so I understand them being good. But you could have did the gymnastics. I would have did it for Lamar. You trade those 2 picks for Lamar. What did they end up getting? They ended up getting Jahmyr Gibbs and somebody else. You have David Montgomery. You could have got a scat back. I understand Jahmyr Gibbs is special, but so is Lamar. And then you could have traded Jared Goff for like a couple seconds and then got a quarterback, or not a quarterback, or running back in the second round. Like, let's see which running backs were available in round 2 of that draft. Because you already, like I said, you already had David Montgomery. Like, you didn't need to go and get a running back at pick 6 or whenever they got Jahmyr Gibbs. They didn't have to do that. You know, I think they ended up trading back. I don't remember. They got Jahmyr Gibbs in that linebacker in that first round. But you know, you could have got Lamar. But this is a team. I'm not going to do them too crazy because they could have got a Zach Charbonnet in the second round. You know, David Montgomery, Zach Charbonnet, and Lamar Jackson. That's a good run game right there. Real good run game. But I could understand the Lions' point of view, and they made the championship game. Hey, what if they had a quarterback that, you know, like Lamar Jackson. But I'm not gonna stake on this for too much longer. The New York Jets, another team where they did end up getting Aaron Rodgers, but like it's cool. I would have preferred Lamar Jackson personally, but I could understand going with Aaron Rodgers. They felt like it would have been disingenuous to be talking to Aaron Rodgers and also hitting up Lamar Jackson. I guess, but like whatever. You prefer Aaron Rodgers. I would have preferred Lamar Jackson because he's way younger. But hey, and you already seen Aaron Rodgers now. We're gonna see, was that a huge mistake? But I do want to not have too much of revisionist history. At the time, this was an okay move. It was an okay move. It was still a move. It's just unfortunate that Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles in one of the first possessions that he's ever played with the Jets. It was just unfortunate. 49ers, another team where, Brock Purdy went blur, and he's cheaper. And, I can understand. They also didn't have the trade assets for Lamar Jackson. So 49ers, I could understand. 49ers, another team where, okay, it's cool. It's cool. Washington Commanders, though. Sam Howard, Jacoby Brissett, Jake Fromm. That was not a good move by them because they ended up taking Emmanuel Forbes in the first round, who they not even using him the right way. Dude, I watched the Commanders put Emmanuel Forbes on A.J. Brown. Dude, that is the one type of receiver that he can't guard. He's 160. He's a very skinny, smart cornerback, and he has to go against type route runners who know what they're doing because he's a type cornerback who knows what he's doing. They have Devonta's skinny ass on the other side, and they rather put him on A.J. Brown. That is so stupid. That is so stupid. They don't even know how they're using one of the assets that they didn't want to give up for Lamar Jackson. And then they got Jaden Daniels. I keep saying Jaden McDaniels because I'm also an NBA page. But Jaden Daniels, who, come on, Lamar's a better quarterback than Jaden Daniels. You would have gave up Jaden Daniels, Emmanuel Forbes, and a little bit of other stuff. Those would have been the two biggest things for Lamar Jackson. And it's like, you didn't want to do that? Like, I don't get it. Like, yeah, he's a talented quarterback, but we're going out with Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett. We don't want Lamar Jackson, even though he's super talented, but we don't want to say anything on why we don't want him. We don't want to critique the MVP. We don't want to critique him. Stupid move by the Commanders. Another team that's stupid for not at least trying to get Lamar. And this is the last team I think is stupid. Devon Witherspoon, blue chip prospect, in my opinion, at pick 5. I love Devon Witherspoon. But Lamar Jackson, dude, you have Tariq Woolen. You could have went out and got another cornerback. Tariq Woolen, he wasn't as good as he was his rookie year, but still, Tariq Woolen is cool. You could have got somebody else at corner. Jackson Smith-Njigba, is that really moving you? Jackson Smith-Njigba, Lamar Jackson. And then Geno Smith, you could have traded him to another team for some picks, or you could have even packaged them in the deal. And then the thing about the Seattle Seahawks, it would have mainly been a pick package. And I think this is a team that does great with their later picks. Like the Seattle Seahawks in round 2, 3, 4, they be turning up, man. So like I another team that I think should have did the move, and especially with how easy the NFC is. Dude, these NFC teams really messed up because Lamar Jackson, would he be the best quarterback in the NFC right now? Like who is the best quarterback in the NFC? Are we talking about Dak Prescott? I hope not. If Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFC, dude, that tells you all you need to know, that you should have went out and got him. You got Dak, you got Jalen Hurts, you got maybe Jordan Love if he turns up again, Jared Goff. So Lamar Jackson would have been the best quarterback in the NFC, dude. Like, and none of these NFC teams went out and got him. I understand the 49ers. I understand the 49ers. I understand the Lions a little bit. I disagree with it, but at least I could see their reasoning. But dude, this Lamar Jackson stuff last year was crazy. And the fact that the Ravens were able to get him without even having any other teams like negotiate with them is funny. And it just goes to show you that what is that word? Collision in the NFL is a real thing, because I think it was deeper than just teams not wanting Lamar Jackson. I think teams didn't want another quarterback back-to-back years to get what they want with the fully guaranteed deal. And that would have changed the landscape of the NFL for real, because every single quarterback, that would have been the new norm. But they ended up only letting Deshaun Watson get away with that and just make the Cleveland Browns look stupid, because the Cleveland Browns are stupid for doing that with Deshaun Watson. But unfortunate that Lamar Jackson didn't even get other teams to, negotiate with him. But yeah, that's just how it is sometimes. That's the business. And yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. This is my first NFL video in a while. We're gonna do some more NFL content. Hopefully y'all guys like it, and hopefully you enjoyed what I had to say. And hey, hopefully us going back about that Lamar Jackson topic was entertaining for you. Because if you stay 20 minutes, it may have been entertaining for you if you're listening to me right now. I'm 94 subscribers in. We almost at 100. If you could please leave a like, comment, subscribe, that would be very appreciated. And God bless.